To announce some arrests in a series of car burglaries. This goes under the category of teamwork makes the dream work. We've got our investigations division along with Panama City and Lynn Haven have worked together to make arrests recently in 16 car burglaries that occurred throughout Bay County over the past week or two. Just a great example of teamwork and a great example of our use of technology to help solve these crimes. Sheriff's Office became involved on May 24th. We've had several car burglaries over in the Callaway area. Learned that Panama City and Lynn Haven had car burglaries as well. Began an investigation using resources from Bayrock. We were able to identify a vehicle, and then through investigative steps it led us to a search warrant in Panama City where we recovered a large amount of property taken during these burglaries. These 16 burglaries were about four firearms. We recovered 2 of those and a quantity of electronics along with other items as well. 3 arrests have been made: a LaRon Stuckey, age 19 of Panama City, Ladrius Anderson, 19 of Panama City, and Cortez Patterson, age 14 of Panama City, on burglary, armed burglary, and multiple counts of grand theft of a firearm and theft. So I want to thank the chiefs here for their working relationship and our partners, as well as these guys that won't get on camera but did all the real work to put these guys in jail. But we also wanted to do this as we come into the summer season. We always see, with school being out, juveniles are roaming sometimes at night, and we can see and do see an increase in vehicle burglaries during the summer. So it's a good reminder to both those that may feel like that's a great thing to do, to go out and burglarize cars. We're going to be out there. We've got some new techniques that we're trying on that will be never know where we may be popping up during the nighttime hours. But it is also a great reminder for people to lock their vehicles. This crime could be virtually eliminated by clicking one button and locking your car. We have people that leave firearms in their cars and their wallets, and then get hit with identity theft. Other items that are taken from the car. Very simple, just to lock your car and eliminate this particular type of crime. We see very infrequently where these individuals will bust a window to get into a car because it brings too much attention to themselves. And of course, once a window busts and we get called, we usually catch them. So good reminder, don't commit car burglaries, lock your car. But again, I want to just thank our partnerships with all of our local police departments. In this case, Lynn Haven and Panama City. When we work together, it really makes a difference in fighting crime in Bay County. With that, I'll turn it over to Chief Smith.
Along with the charges that the Sheriff's Office made, our agency on the 21st started investigating 7 vehicle burglaries that had taken place in our city in the Millville and Glenwood area. And we arrested Cortez Patterson, a 15-year-old male, and Mr. Perry, a 15-year-old male. So again, these are juveniles that we're looking at that are committing these. And again, it's unlocked cars. These individuals stole guns, hence they have 4 counts of breaking into vehicles charged with unarmed burglary, and then they have 3 counts charged with armed burglary, as well as dealing in stolen property for selling these firearms. These charges, if we can get the kids to quit doing this, and then if we can get the vehicle owners and the property owners to start securing their vehicles, it will take us a long ways in getting these resolved and not having these type of incidences taking place. And as he pointed out also, we're all using different investigative tools along with Bayrock and different high profiling on the on the patrol methods that we're using. We're using some different methods and some different unmarked vehicles and things like that to get out there and try to cut this down some. So please lock your car doors for us. Chief?
And in Lynn Haven, we had 10 burglaries, and at least we know of 1 firearm stolen. I'm going to be very crystal clear because this is the 3rd time this has happened in Lynn Haven in the last 3 years. It's embarrassing because the last thing either one of us ever want to do is to hand a folded flag to a spouse. where someone left their vehicle unlocked, we stop that suspect vehicle, and they fire that weapon at one of our officers. We also, one of the worst things that we ever do as a chief or a sheriff is do death notifications. Don't be the liable person for leaving your vehicle unlocked. You have a responsibility as a gun owner, or even locking your car in general. But I'm telling you, these kids know. It's embarrassing. I watched one of the videos. It was like trick-or-treating in Lynn Haven. They brought a bag with them because they knew that they would find vehicles unlocked in our community. There's no excuse for it. Hit the button at night. Set a reminder. I know the sheriff puts them out. I know Mark puts them out. You know, your 9 o'clock reminders to lock your vehicle. If you are going to possess a firearm in your vehicle, be responsible with that firearm because they're going to be used. I mean, they're in the high crime areas where we think 2 of the guns are ultimately were sold. So that's my message. I echo what they say, and I also echo to the bad guys. There's enough technology out there that we're utilizing right now. You're not going to win. I'm going to tell you, we will have sleepless nights till we find you. So please lock your doors.
Any questions?
Can you just reiterate the importance of people making sure that they're keeping themselves away from danger by locking their cars, their homes, whatever it might be, with the increase of burglaries like this?
You know, like I said earlier, this is a simple crime to stop just by locking your car door. Again, we virtually see no instances of people breaking car glass to get into a car because it brings attention. You know, they're able to slip around at night and open car doors and get guns and electronics and other items out of vehicles without doing that. So 9 p.m. routine, a lot of us push that, you know, before you go to bed, make sure your car's locked.
And just to make sure, were there any injuries reported amongst any of these burglaries any of your agencies responded to?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not for us.
All right.
Why do we keep seeing, I guess, why are we seeing like a lot of these happen? Do you know why?
Because people don't lock their doors.
It's clear.
And can you just touch on, once again, about the fact that this is summer, and
Right.
the high school, middle school, even elementary schools are going to be out and about more, so this expands the importance of making
Right.
sure you're keeping your property
You know,
safe.
we always see an increase in the summer with these type of car burglaries. So lock your car door to those parents that whose kids are out roaming late at night. You know, you don't want them to get involved in this type of situations. One, it's dangerous. I mean, at some point somebody is going to wake up and find somebody going through their car and, you know, defend themselves and their property, and that's going to be a tragedy. But it's, you know, you also don't want your child to have a felony record as they're just starting their life. I mean, you've got 2 19-year-olds that we arrested that have an armed burglary charge. It's a very serious charge. They may just think they're taking some, you know, items out of a car, but they're facing very serious felony charges for this. Because you take a gun out of a car, that turns this burglary of a vehicle to an armed burglary.
And even though several arrests have been made, do all 3 of your agencies plan to continue to patrol highly suspected areas more
Yes.
within the coming weeks?
That's what we do. Yes, we do. We will be increasing our patrols in the neighborhoods because, again, this is something that happens every summer where we see an increase in these type of crimes.
Mention your camera.
So one thing that people can do to help us, we solve a lot of these crimes by our investigators going out and canvassing areas that got Ring doorbell cameras or other type of outdoor cameras, and we're able to develop a timeline and suspect descriptions from those things. And we've got through Bay Real-Time Operations Center, we've got Connect Bay County that will allow people to register their cameras with us that will alleviate the investigators from having to go to individual houses and find somebody home. You basically register online. Bayrock is able to send a mass email out in the area that's affected, just asking for video footage on this date between a certain period of time, and people can upload that. It does not give us any access to their cameras. People can ignore the email when they get it if they don't want to release it, but it does give people a way to help us solve these crimes by allowing us to obtain that video footage in a much more effective manner. What's that website? connectbay.org, or we can get that to you. But there's a website, very simple process to register your name and address. And then if we have a burglary in your neighborhood, an email will come to you and it says, we've had a burglary in your neighborhood on this date and time. Please check your footage to see if there's anything relevant, and as a way to quickly upload it, and it comes right in here to Bayrock. They can get that out to the investigators to where we're not knocking on doors, and just a more effective way to get that video footage.
Sheriff, it is connectbaycounty.org.
That website is connectbaycounty.org.
So just to reiterate, the message to the community, if you witness one of these burglaries and you have any video footage or saw it with your own 2 eyes, contact law enforcement and share that information.
Yes, absolutely. Or go to connectbaycounty.org and sign up your camera, and that will give us a efficient way to contact you by email, and you can choose to upload any relevant video footage. All right, thank you.